This Trump guy is nuts. So there is now a story about how he might drop out of the race, even if he wins. Okay, that's beyond insane. But let's break it down. And I'm going to show you that there is some chance he drops out before the election. So first, in today's New York Times, Jason Horowitz writes, presented in a recent interview with a scenario floating around the political ether in which the presumptive Republican nominee proves all the naysayers wrong, beats Hillary Clinton, and wins the presidency, only to forego the office as the ultimate walk-off winner, Mr. Trump flashed a mischievous smile, then said, quote, "I'll let you know how I feel about it after it happens." Okay, pause here to explain to you how mental that is. No one trying to win the presidency says, I might quit the day after I win, because then people are less likely to support you. They're less likely to give you money. They're less likely to give you their votes. That's an insane thing to do. So why is he doing it? Well, let's just go back a little while ago, not that long ago, in the middle of June, June 18th, Politico had a different article. A former Trump advisor said, unprompted, I bet if someone offered him $150 million to drop out, he would. Now, okay, I got to tell you, our producers here, JR, Jen, Irina, they found this article after I read the New York Times article this morning. So I had not seen it yet. I saw the New York Times article and I thought, I bet $250 million does it. He's not going to wait till after he wins. If he wins, he wins. No, he's going to do it now when they can just nominate some other Republican. And he's thinking, well, he claims to have put in $45 million into the primaries of his own money. He loaned it to his campaign. Now, a lot of that money got funneled back into Trump Enterprises, but still, he's out a lot of money. And he's thinking, what did I do this for, to lose money? If somebody comes to him and says, look, your expenses at the end of the day, maybe they're $100 million. And I throw in $150 million on top, $250 million. Could Republicans do that? Yeah, easily. The Koch brothers are going to had planned to put in $900 million into this race anyway. That's a little more than a quarter, no big deal, of that money. So I thought $250 million so that he could net $150 million, and it turns out in June they were talking about $150 million. Almost exactly right. So another Trump advisor, former Trump advisor, said, Jim Dornan, I'm sorry, he's a Republican operative, so he's not exactly a Trump advisor. They asked him, hey, if they offered him enough money, would he drop out? He said, quote, yeah, probably. And then he went on to say the Kochs would be first in line. So the Kochs are a little worried that he's crazy enough that he won't do exactly as they tell him to do, that he won't do the trade deals that they want. He won't deregulate in the way that they want. He won't give them all the money that they normally get. So they're like, that might be a smart investment. But I want to go back to the former Trump advisor, because he said the $150 million unprompted. It was not a story until he said it. So now Trump not putting those insane rumors to rest, and then an advisor saying, maybe $150 million will do it. You know what that's saying? Over here, make me an offer. Now, Trump finally, after all this, has got to put it down, so he does, but listen carefully to his words. He says, this story is a total fabrication from you and Politico as usual, he says. I will never leave the race. Nobody has enough money to pay me to leave the race, and if they did, it would be totally illegal anyway. Did Obama and the Clintons get you to write this garbage? So that sounds pretty strong. That was after the Politico article. But first of all, it's not true. It wouldn't have to be illegal. I'll explain that in a second. Second of all, he says, I will never leave the race. Nobody has enough money to pay me to leave the race. In other words, make me an offer. I don't think you have enough money, do you? He's a businessman. This is how he negotiates. I told you a story that is not in the press earlier because I happen to know one of the lawyers who worked on one of his bankruptcies representing the creditors. And they had a perfectly good deal, and he walked away from it because it wasn't his deal. And another deal that I told you about, he said he would do a speech for $250,000. Everybody planned this speech around him. And then after they spent a tremendous amount of money planning the whole event, bringing other people, the day before he said, now it's $1 million. They said, what do you mean? You said it was $250,000. He's like, well, now you already spent all these millions of dollars, so now it's $1 million. This is how he negotiates. He has no shame. You know what he's doing here? It's possible that he's negotiating in public. This is amazing. So then Bill Kristol, who hates him, who's a right-winger neocon but not in Trump camp, puts out the tweet, $150 million. Done. Dinner in New York on Monday. Private room at Daniel. Reservation under the name of Reince, as in Reince previous. 15 billionaires, $10 million each. They're negotiating in public. So now they can't just hand him $150 million. So how would they do it? Well, Jim Fishman, Pace Law School professor, explains. It's against the law to bribe someone for a vote or certain favors. But if I say to Trump, I'm starting a new hedge fund with $300 million committed to it, I'd really like you to join us. Your name will bring in billions. I'll give you a 50% interest from the start, and you can cash out the value of your initial interest, $150 million, when you want. There's no bribe there, and Trump could go away with $150 million. So then they go to Mark Cuban, who knows Donald Trump, and they say, come on, is this serious? Cuban says, $150 million? No chance. Oh, okay, that puts it to rest, right? They say, is there any price? He says, well, $5 billion he would. So this is like that old joke about a guy paying a woman money for sex. He offers $1 million. He offers $10. She says no. He offers $1 million. She says yes. And he's like, well, now we've determined what you are. The rest is just negotiation. Okay, now that's a bad joke from the old days. But now in terms of Trump, we're just negotiating what the price is at this point. Now, I'm not saying he's going to drop out. I'm not saying that they're going to be able to raise enough money for him to drop out. And by the way, if they raise the money, he would change the terms on them at the last second because we know how he operates. But is there a number? With Donald Trump, you bet your ass there's a number. And there's a lot of Republican donors who have a lot of money on the line who would be highly motivated to reach that number. And right now, he is tanking his campaign. Now that he's a presumptive nominee, I mean, in the middle of Hillary Clinton's mess with the lack of indictment, but all the things that the FBI said she did wrong, and he's out there talking about the anti-Semitic tweet, trying to grab every negative headline. Is he saying to all those donors, look, I can keep messing your party up all night long. I can tank this thing in a way you couldn't possibly imagine. Now, what's the price today? We live in fascinating times. In any other race, this would have been mental. In this race, it's totally possible.